welcome and thank you for being here this evening. We ask that you put your cell phones in silent mode. And reminder to visitors, please sign in. And if you wish to speak under visitors' remarks, please fill out the form found in the foyer, state your name and address at the podium, as we must document all meeting business and remarks limited to 3 minutes. Tonight's invocation will be led by Pastor Matt Cecil of First United Methodist Church, then followed by the pledges.
Let's pray. Almighty and gracious God, we come before you today as your people, as citizens right here in Navasota, to serve you, to come together in fellowship, to come together with work, to come together, even, Lord, as an act of worship, to do your will. Lord, we ask your wisdom in this meeting. We ask your peace and your calm to wash over us as important topics are discussed, as the future of this city is discussed. Lord, grant to us your wisdom and your love and your charity. And then, Lord, we ask further your grace and your peace upon the citizens of this community, those who are not here in this room but go far beyond to do the work, to handle the emergency services, to keep us safe and protected, to keep our city running. Lord, we give you thanks for each of them. We give you thanks for this wonderful community, and we ask your blessings on us and on this meeting here tonight. Lord, we pray these things in your holy and wonderful name, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Agree.
We don't have any for under number 3, but we have one for item number 4 under the
Right.
proclamation.
Okay. All right. We'll move to item 4, staff report, and we'll begin with some proclamations this evening. First proclamation this evening is for the Supporting Your Local Chamber of Commerce Day. And I would like to ask anyone that is present tonight if they'd like to come forward and join me. Whereas there are about 4,000 chambers of commerce across the United States, all seeking to spur job creation and promote economic development. Whereas chambers of commerce strive to address the community's top challenges and greatest opportunities through bold leadership and innovative problem solving. Chambers of commerce foster stronger, more vibrant communities by advocating for priorities to promote economic prosperity, boost quality of life, and create access to meaningful employment and opportunity for all residents. Chambers of commerce are champions of communities, serving as a trusted resource for business, residents, and other stakeholders. And chambers of commerce create catalytic community partnerships to build resilient communities, economies, and promote community-wide prosperity. Whereas by the Navasota-Grimes County Chamber of Commerce was chartered on March 6, 1916 by then Secretary of State John G. McKay. It began with 9 residents whose names are still very familiar within our community today. They were J.N. Baylor, J.W. Brosig, C.C. Camp, J.T. Evans, H.H. Knox, Ewing Norwood, R.A. Patu, Ward Templeman, and E.H. Terrell. Whereas the mission of the Navasota-Grimes County Chamber of Commerce is to be an association of businesses and individuals organized to encourage a strong local economy and quality of life by promoting economic, civic, cultural, and social development through an informed membership and community. There it be resolved that I, Burt Miller, Mayor of the City of Navasota, proclaim October 15th, 2025 as Support Your Local Chamber of Commerce Day and encourage Navasota, Texas residents to learn more about the Chamber, its impact, and support of local businesses.
Just want to say a few words. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. We appreciate the honor and your support. We also wanted to extend a personal invitation to yourselves and to our community and our chamber members in honor of this special day on Wednesday the 15th. We invite you to come join us across the street of the chamber. We're going to have coffee and donuts. So we'll start at 8 a.m. and we'll be going till about 10 o'clock, but you're welcome to visit at any time. So thank you again. And didn't say, I'm Mariana. I'm the executive director of the chamber. I apologize. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And we have some of our board members here as well. You may know Anne Marie as well. She is on the team, but this is just a representation of some of our board, and we appreciate them coming out as well to lend their support for this. So thanks again. Thank you.
You got some big projects coming up. Tell about some things you got going on.
Well, in a couple of weeks, we will be having our Golf with Grimes. So,
Next week.
oh my gosh, it's next week. It's next week. It's October the 23rd. And we've just been overwhelmed with the support, and it's going to be a good day. So I'm excited to just be out of the office, and hopefully we'll have one of those nice chamber days, fingers crossed, knock on wood, but it's not too late to join us. So if you need any information, please contact us, but we're really looking forward to that. And it's one of only a few fundraisers that we do. So it's a good one. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, we'll get a quick photo.
Yeah, we'll get right up
Thank you
here.
so much. Oh, yeah. Everybody look at me. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Thank you.
Next, since you can see the pink out that's going on here,
Mayor,
We are-
we have someone too for Relay for Life too that can come up.
great. We have a proclamation recognizing Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to join me up here for that as well. Thank you. Ms. Kay. Whereas October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And National Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an annual campaign to increase awareness of this disease and increase public knowledge about the importance of early detection of breast cancer diagnosis and treatment. The American Cancer Society recommends adult annual breast cancer screening with mammograms starting at age 40. Early detection saves lives, so schedule your mammogram today. 15 minutes could save your life. Many organizations continue to search for a cure through vital research, and physicians, public health professionals, and advocates continue to educate our community about the awareness and innovative advancements in early detection and treatment. Whereas the City of Navasota supports breast cancer research and recognizes the trauma breast cancer brings and understands that this horrible disease strikes women and men within our community and our city. Therefore, I, Burt Miller, Mayor of the City of Navasota, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Ask everyone to join this worthwhile cause, which aims to offer support for those courageously battling this disease, recognize the many survivors, and to honor those lives lost to this disease. Signed the 13th day of October 2025. You want to come up here for a photo.
I'm gonna get the staff and council to come up with you, man.
We know that Xander is gonna have a already signed.
Carrie, you didn't get the memo? I should have worn my pink tie. I did not.
Thank you, Ms. Kay.
Make sure you get the memo.
Hey, brother, you know I sent it out. Got it sent out, I guess.
In here.
And now a proclamation recognizing Red Ribbon Week. Anyone in the audience to ask Dr. Music? Yes, sir.
Edie, anyone?
Believe we have a number of Red Ribbon Week activities going on at the district.
We will.
Great. Whereas alcohol and other drug abuse in this nation has reached epidemic stages, it's imperative that visible, unified prevention education efforts by community members be launched to eliminate the demand for drugs. Whereas the National Family Partnership is sponsoring National Red Ribbon Campaign, offering citizens the opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to drug-free lifestyles. No use of illegal drugs, no illegal use of legal drugs. Whereas the National Red Ribbon Campaign will be celebrated in every community in America starting through October 23rd through the 31st for Red Ribbon Week. Business, government, parents, law enforcement, media, medical, religious institutions, schools, senior citizens, service organizations, and youth will demonstrate their commitment to healthy, drug-free lifestyles by wearing and displaying red ribbons during this week-long campaign. The City of Navasota further commits its resources to ensure the success of the Red Ribbon Campaign. Now, therefore, it be resolved, the City of Navasota does hereby proclaim October 23rd through 31st as Red Ribbon Week and encourage citizens to participate in drug prevention education activities, making a visible statement that we are strongly committed to a drug-free state. Signed this 13th day of October, 2025.
Thank y'all for this.
All right. Mr. Hemminger, I believe we're up to item B.
Yes, sir. Next will be a CIP update from our project manager, Matt Julian.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I'm Matthew Julian, Project Manager. A couple updates. Water well number 8, we haven't talked about in a while. It's still kind of on the back burner. We do not have power yet from the developer on site to finish up the work that Weisinger needs to do. They've got about 4 things that need to be done for that project. So we're trying to work with the developer, get a timeline on that. In the meantime, we've reached out to Weisinger to see what it would cost to have temporary power on site to take care of the job so we can get this project wrapped up. So hopefully next meeting, I'll be able to give some numbers to y'all to know what, if we want to go that route or just keep waiting on the power from the developer. EST number 3, the water tower is still on schedule. Crews will be back this Wednesday. They're going to begin doing the prep work for the painting and the coating on the inside. So that's exciting to see all the fabrication finished up and waiting on the next step. The Brozick Street pedestrian project, I reached out to the engineer today. This week, they are planning to do some changes to the abutment wall and the sidewalk on the north side of the bridge, with plans to deliver that bridge next week. So I will get with them again this week and finalize when that date's going to happen and get notice out, because more than likely that street will be closed during that process. So we'll be sure we get enough notice out to our customers before that happens. And then once the bridge is in place, then the engineers and TxDOT want to discuss the temporary ramp, what that's going to look like. When I asked about it last week, they said that it would not be an ADA compliance. So I'm still trying to find out the reason why, and if it's something that we want to go ahead and still do, or just leave the step off until May when the work starts on the vehicular bridge. So I'm still gathering more information on that. The TxDOT sidewalk project on West Washington kicked off on Monday of last week, the same day that Knife River decided to do their TxDOT project on West Washington, which caused a traffic nightmare, but that's been resolved. Crews are working hard. They did their first concrete pour on Friday, which was both sides of 3rd Street. And this morning they poured from there into the property for the car wash. So they're making good progress. Their plan is to stay on that north side of the street till they get to the railroad tracks. And then if the railroad company is ready for them, they're going to start that process. If not, they're going to jump back to the south side over on Willie Street and continue that work. The TxDOT project on FM 3090, our public works crews have been moving the water meters that are in the way. So far, we've moved a total of 8 of them, and we still have 3 more that need to be relocated. This month, we're scheduled to get the next set of plans, which are the 60% completion plans, which will have more measurements on them. So we will make sure we go through each individual lot and make sure nothing got missed, make sure nothing still needs to be addressed before this project starts. And they're still looking at starting that around May. And the last thing I have is a project we just finished up. Last year, TCEQ required us to do a service line inventory. That's every water service in Navasota, from the water main to the customer's house. We had to check both sides of the meter. And there was almost 4,000 service lines we have. One of the things they were looking for was lead service lines. So during that process, we did discover 40 service lines that do contain lead that TCEQ now is saying that they have to be removed. The ruling before was if it leaks, you got to remove it. Then the ruling was if you find it, you have to remove it. Now they're saying everything has to be removed. The majority of those lines are on Washington Avenue and South LaSalle, with some there's a couple on Farquhar as well. I tried looking through the records. I'm not sure when those were installed in Navasota, but the research I've done shown they were installed anywhere from the late 1800s to about 1940. So now, 2 weeks ago, we sent out customer letters letting the customers know that we did identify those lines. I have talked with a few of them that had more questions. And once we finish up these other projects, we're going to get started on these. TCEQ has given us 5 years to get them all replaced. I'm hoping to have it done within 2. We're going to have to communicate with TxDOT, probably get some permits and do some road closures, but we're going to make sure we get on this right away and get it taken care of. And that's all I have if you have any questions.
Did you say when the sidewalk from Brozig to Julia, when that's gonna open?
We don't have that date yet. They're still in the development stage. Like I said, they're about 60% done with it this month. We should have those plans. So it's not even anywhere near.
Sorry, the one that is gonna be 8 foot wide, that is already there, that's already been poured, just has a fence around it still.
Oh, that one. I thought you meant Piedmont. So that sidewalk is done. Now they're just waiting on the bridge. To my knowledge, it's gonna stay like it is until the bridge is done, and then it should be open. The vehicle bridge that they're gonna bring in is gonna probably cause that sidewalk to be closed because they're doing some more work. They're gonna put some curbs up and basically gonna help keep traffic from getting on that sidewalk. But they're gonna divert the sidewalk, extend it, and make a crosswalk across Brozig. So, to my knowledge, it should be open until the next project starts.
I do have a question that I think is gonna be referred to Mr. Heminger there. The paperwork on the water well east of town, where do we stand on that?
The water well number 8 that he was talking about with the power, no power.
Yes,
So that's,
the paperwork.
you're talking about deed conveyance?
Yes.
It's all gonna happen at the same time as we do the development agreement with the developer. So we're having conversations. The developer's been talking to the TERS administrator, and is awaiting a conversation, awaiting the signed contract, or was waiting. We got done last week, I believe, with our PID administrator, so that they can get those documents ready, prepared, ready for you all's consideration. So they are working through with our administrators now to get those documents finalized.
Thank you.
All right, any reports from council on boards and commissions?
Yes, the planning and zoning met on September the 25th. They started off by introducing the new member, Bert Bearden. They also had 3 action items on the agenda. The first one was concerning possible action on the subdivision plat application submitted by Walter J. and Barbara Thane for the purpose of subdividing 15.964 acres to the Thane subdivision. That was approved. The second action item was considering possible action on a preliminary site plan application submitted by Walter Jr. and Barbara Thane for the purpose of developing a Taco Bell, a restaurant use. That was approved. And the last, considering possible action on amending the plat applications submitted by JCLV Investment LLC was accepted.
Okay, thank you. Any others? Yeah. All right, some things coming up here. We've got Navasota Theater Alliance's Lanterns and Legends kicks off this week, Thursday night, I believe, right? Runs Thursday through Saturday outdoor and
At
Sunday.
the cemetery.
And
then
Sunday indoor.
Sunday will be at the theater at 2:00 in the afternoon in case one of the nights is rained out, and it's also set up for those that aren't able to walk the cemetery. Tickets at navasotatheater.org.
All right, and that's, you can go on there and you can pick your time and all that kind of thing, so. Also, on the 17th, there's a Harry Potter escape room at the Navasota Center, but I want to just mention again that and many other youth and senior activities are going on and with the library and at the Navasota Center. And you can very easily find all of that at navasotatx.gov, or call the Navasota Center or call the library. But there's just a huge amount of things going on. So you can also follow it on Facebook, follow the park's Facebook page, and also the city's Facebook page.
After a gap of more than 20 years, we now have a driver's license bureau office in Grimes County. And it opened up, it's in the annex behind the Criminal Justice Building, all the way down at the west end, parking right at the door. They're open 5 days a week. They do close for lunch at 12 and don't open up again until 1:15. I was in there taken care of very promptly. The people were very efficient and very nice, and it's good to have them here. The only thing that could be better is if it were in Navasota instead of.
but at least it's only 10 minutes away.
It's
and
only
not-
10 minutes
not
away.
Longer than that, and probably not a line like you would have.
There wasn't a line, and I parked right there in front of the door. It took me about 10 steps to get inside the door.
On the 18th, there's a household hazardous waste event in College Station. You drop off from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's at the A&M University Service Building. It's on off of Harvey Road. And so you can take those items that are hazardous in nature to that drop off. And anyone in Grimes County is welcome to do that. The 18th, we have the soccer league having a barbecue out at the August Horse Park. It's from 12 to 3. The 21st of October, Blood Cross. How about a Red Cross blood drive? RedCrossBlood.org. You can sign up there. And that same day, the 21st, is Brazos Valley Gives Day, an annual event that just ordinary folks, businesses, whoever wants to can contribute to a number of different charitable organizations and service organizations in the Brazos Valley. There's a very impressive list that are from Navasota and from Grimes County, so be sure and check that out at BrazosValleyGives.org. You can give now until the 21st, and there'll actually be a drop-off, a drive-through drop-off at Brookshire Brothers on the 21st from 1 to 3. So if you're not into that online thing, you can just go over to Brookshire Brothers from 1 to 3, and you can donate to whichever organization that you choose, or it can be given where you can put it into the fund that funds the different organizations that, again, a lot of them are here locally, so be sure and check that out. And then the 28th is Treats on the Streets. November 1st is the citywide garage sale. And you can call here at City Hall, or you can go to navasotatx.gov and sign up for that. And then on November 13th, the community workshop for Parks, Rec, Trails, and Open Space Plan. Survey results will be presented, and there'll be a workshop from 6 to 7:30 at the Navasota Center. Again, that's November 13th. Else? Good.
You covered it.
Oh, and go Rattlers, by the way. We had a really good, really good Friday night, didn't we, James?
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah,
Kept all the fans there.
yeah, that's right.
Didn't leave early.
And this week we'll be in Stafford, so. Okay, item number 5. Okay. Item number 5, conduct a public hearing on order to repair or demolish substandard building located at 709 FM 379, Navasota, Texas, 77868. Presentation, discussion, possible action on order to repair or demolish substandard building at 709 FM 379. We will open the public hearing at 6:40.
I'll pass them around.
Just as a reminder, Mayor and Council, this is a continuation of the hearing from the previous meeting.
He said this is some new information.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Eric Covarrubias, Code Enforcement Officer. On July 14th, 2025, city staff completed an inspection for a substandard building. The application of standards are the structure is considered unsafe, unsanitary, and dangerous to the health, safety, general welfare of the city citizens, including all conditions conducted to the harboring of vermin, rats, mice, other diseases carrying animals or insects reasonable calculated to spread diseases. The non-supporting covering walls, ceilings, and roofs or floors are 50% or more damaged or deteriorated. The structure or any part therefore has been damaged by fire, water, earthquake, wind, vandalism, or other causes to such an extent that it has become dangerous to the public. And then the building or structure was constructed or maintained in violation of provision of the city's minimum building standards or any other applicable ordinance of the law of the city of county or state. ¿Le quiero explicar o? Sí, es lo que de las locaciones que tenemos.
Eric, excuse me.
Do we have anybody to offer translation?
Yeah, it would be translated.
Okay. Thank you.
On page number 7, I did notify all parties involved with the property. I posted the notice on the door, and that's how the owner found out about the property being subjected to a public hearing. On page number 8, there has been multiple cases created on this property since 2023. On 2024, it got forwarded to court, but the owner did not attend. Yeah. Sí. Sí, ha empezado el caso desde el 2023 y en el 2024 la mandé a la corte.
Lo que hablamos la vez pasada, la misma, ¿verdad? ¿Cuál fue lo que no entendiste? La última que me mandó él, porque la que yo vi, porque la puso en la 2024, que alguien firmó por mí.
Ya, miren, en esta tengo el recibo que alguien firmó.
Ajá, y luego la miré en la puerta. ¿Te acuerdas que la vez pasada dijimos que yo la había visto ahí en la puerta? Por eso ya vine a cortar la llave, la miré en la puerta y por eso ya fue aquí. Fue lo que hablamos la vez pasada.
Entonces, ¿este es el notice que le pusieron ahí?
Yo le había mandado el notice desde el 2023.
Ajá, sí.
Y alguien me firmó aquí.
Sí, que alguien recibió la carta, sí.
Ok. Sí, entonces ese es el...
Ajá.
Did they supposed to bring something back?
Correct. The idea was that the owner was supposed to bring back a plan for repair to present to the city council.
So do we have the plan, Eric? He's supposed to be brought back from the previous meeting?
Yes, sir. If you wanna, si quiere explicar
Okay,
aquí.
le iba a preguntar, ¿necesita algún plano o solamente lo va a hacer con lo que él tiene escrito?
Eric, just out of curiosity, as they're talking to you, can you tell us what it is
Yes.
that the communication's happening?
He's asking right now if they need a plan, or if it's just the list of materials.
I was asking if he actually needed an actual, like a blueprint, or is it with the list of materials that he's gonna use, if that would be enough?
The ordinance says that it needs to be a detailed plan that sets out the work and the milestones, what work is scheduled and when it's gonna be accomplished. It needs to be completed within 90 days. If it can't be completed within 90 days, then you need to prove to the council that it can't be reasonably completed within 90 days, and present your compliance schedule and your detailed work schedule and when those milestones are going to occur. And so that was the purpose of the council continuing the meeting the hearing from the last meeting. And so it needs to be a detailed plan that you can present to the council about when the work is going to be done and how it's going to be accomplished.
The detail could include drawings and whatnot, but
It
I
could.
don't think it,
I don't think it needs to be
say if I'm
engineered
wrong,
drawings necessarily.
doesn't necessarily have to be engineered drawings. That's probably what you're
Yes,
asking.
that's what I was asking. But that, I was asking because on his letter, he explains how he is gonna start rebuilding the home completely from bottom to top. And he explains all the materials he's gonna use, and he's expected to have it finished by November 20th, which would be in the 90 days, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
So you have a rough plan then?
He has a rough plan, yes. Not a blueprint, but he has rough plans on completing the project.
Who has that? He's got it with him right now?
Property owner, yeah. Oh, ¿tienes algún, aparte de la lista de materiales que estás presentando, tienes algún plano como?
No
Oh,
tengo,
he actually has,
no tengo plano porque no voy a renovar algo que no, nomás lo existente.
he actually has pictures of the material he is planning on using, which means he's just waiting for your approval to start.
Is the plan in a form that can be copied and presented to the city council for them to review?
I could just make copies of those.
You can?
Yeah, I just make copies in the.
I mean,
He just has.
the council needs something to review in terms of a detailed plan.
Say, Eric, I think I heard him during the translating was saying that he was waiting on our approval to get started. I think that we've already gave him an extension to get started, but we needed a detail. So I drove by yesterday and there's no work had been done yet.
Oh,
So he
yeah,
could have been already working on it.
he thought, the approval was today. That's why he hadn't started.
Well, we left it as there was a plan needed.
Correct.
Timeline, when it would be.
Correct, because he is wanting to secure the property, and the recommendation from the code enforcement officer is for demolition. So the property owner has the burden to show you as the fact finder in the council and the decision maker in this process that the plan is sufficient in terms of allowing him to repair versus ordering demolition. And so the 90-day requirement, it sounds like, would be not applicable according to what he has verbally stated, but the council needs to review the plan and make sure that that is
One doesn't,
sufficient.
well, we're not gonna have the expertise that a building official would have, though, to know whether or not what they're proposing is gonna meet code. Right? Thank you.
Entonces yo le expliqué lo que nomás estaba esperando que ellos se lo aprobaran para empezar.
Saying here that it's not gonna start until November.
And end by the same day. They're not.
Oh,
Next year.
oh, a whole
I
year.
don't see how they can accomplish.
Uh,
Eric, it says on here that they're gonna start November 20th and have it completed by November 20th.
2026.
A year.
Oh, 20,
A year.
1 year.
oh, 26. I see, a year.
He's saying that he could have it before, but he's just given it a year just to kind of, in case, he needs other things, not just material wise, but if anything he needs.
Is he acting as a general contractor, or is he gonna do all this work himself?
¿Vas a trabajar como un contratista general o vas a hacer todo?
Yo lo hago.
He said he's planning on doing it all himself.
Mi trabajo es eso, Ramón.
That's what he does for a living.
And these materials have already been purchased, or?
Parte del material casi está todo lo que está ahí, lo único que no tengo es el metal del techo.
He's saying that most of the material that's there is what he has. He's just missing some metal from that he's going to use on the roof. So,
Where is this material now that he has?
En mi casa. Bueno, allá en Houston.
and his other property in Houston.
And the plans don't mention anything about plumbing or electricity. And I think that was an issue from last time, was that there was no water, there were no pipes, there was something to that.
Yeah, a quick, on, page 22, I did get an inspection report from the building official. Si quieres, lo que retiro, una vez todo lo que donde fue el reporte del oficial. So the building official did mention that there was a lot of gray and rotten wood for siding, including the wall studs. The rafters with more rotten and gray wood, and the insulation was damaged. And then he mentioned a lot of rotten siding with insulation under the bed from the mobile home. Yeah.
So Eric, is he aware that he's gonna have to get permits to remodel this, electrician, plumber?
Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
Is he aware that he will have to get licensed electrician and licensed plumber?
Si estás de acuerdo que vas a necesitar permisos para lo que viene siendo todo lo que es lo de la plomería y electricidad.
Si es algo que tengo que hacer,
Yeah, he said that he knows he has to get all of that. That's kind of why he did the 1 year on his plans, but he said if he's able to get it done sooner, that he will get it done sooner.
porque hay que
Well,
quitar la
finish
plomería,
the project
la
sooner.
plomería que quité de aquí, yo solamente quité la plomería del baño.
And he's repairing this to live in or to rent?
Está preguntando si lo quieres arreglar para rentarlo o para vivir.
No, para vivir.
He wants to live. He wants it to live.
It sounds like to me, though, the reason you initially came back with the demolish was mainly because of the structural integrity of the building, right? I mean, and mainly in the pictures, I'm not seeing anything structural. I'm seeing just like flooring and siding and roof material. What about all the internal studs and you said that are partially rotten and it just sounds to me like there's just a whole lot that's not good.
Yes, sir. We weren't able to schedule an interior inspection as it was the week after
Well, I mean, you can see the studs from the outside.
Yeah.
So that's number one.
We did see a lot of deterioration and termite damage, so that's what we considered as associated. But he's saying that he's able to replace all the studs.
Sí,
Sí, vas a poder poner todo.
igual eso, luego poner nada por afuera.
Yeah, he's explaining that he does have to change all of that because of the termites that it had. And he's also gonna do the insulation, all the siding, basically everything. The only thing that's basically gonna stay is the structure from the trailer, which is the skeleton. Not even the skeleton, because he has to replace everything. Pero otra cosa que estaban preguntando es que en las fotos no se
And when did this all start back, Eric, when you first started sending out mail?
I created Kids back in 2023, but he said where he lives, I guess he lives like in a apartment complex that someone else signed for him on the notice, that's why he didn't come out too short. And he finally saw the posted notice on the door when I posted it this year. Esta parte de la... En el 2023, ¿usted no firmó esto?
Es que la que le expliqué la vez pasada, ¿te recuerdas?
Sí.
Que ahí donde yo vivo hay 5 buzones.
Ya te puedo explicar así.
Donde yo vivo hay 5 buzones y todo el tiempo se pierde el correo, o todo el tiempo agarra a alguien. Yo no a veces.
¿Pero dónde vives, aquí o allá en Houston?
No, en Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, en Houston.
Eric, it also says it also talks about the foundation, which I'm assuming it's blocks. It's not a slab.
Yes, sir, that's unlocked.
That's not really even mentioned on here at all. And if it says here it's 25% or more damaged.
The building official did submit photos of the underside of the deterioration.
La compré y la acaban de nivelar. Ellos acaban de nivelar toda la fundación de abajo y se echaba de ver donde se la habían nivelado. Todos los bloques, todo lo que había sentado. No pudo verse.
What's his name,
Usually you
Eric?
can build a new home.
What's your
You
name,
can
sir?
build a
Oh,
home,
I'm sorry,
small
I'm Raul.
home in 6 months.
Raul? Okay. Hey, can you ask him, is there any way he can get this done faster than a year? Because
Yeah, I was gonna
it is
say-
an eyesore.
I mean, you can build a house in 6 or 8 months from slab up.
Te está preguntando que si lo puedes
Pues that's
terminar
for the
antes del año.
Sí.
O sea, mucho antes porque el otro está preguntando que que hay casos que se pueden hacer entre 8 casi 9 meses.
Sí, yo solamente pido tiempo por si mi trabajo está malo. Por eso pido más tiempo, pero sí, lo que ellos me den un tiempo y yo voy a tenerlo en ese tiempo.
He's saying that he can definitely have it before the year. He was just saying that he could do it in that time lapse, just in case he needed like permits or also because of his
So he
job.
definitely gonna need permits.
Because of his job, he needs to drive back and forth, also with material and stuff. But if he said que si, entonces le digo que si se puede hacerlo más rápido.
Sí,
¿En cuánto tiempo?
que ellos me digan el tiempo y entonces yo lo voy a tener en ese tiempo.
Porque parece que
Es
uno
el
de ellos,
máximo tiempo que me dan.
uno de ellos dijo que daba 90 días. He's asking if you guys have like a deadline for him.
Eric, I was just,
I'm just thinking 8 months at the most, but I mean, 6 to 8 really.
have spoke with Kerry, and if he can give us a timeline, in 30 days, this will be done. In 60 days, this will be done. In 90 days, this will be done. And then he has to give us a documented to you showing that the progress is going. In the event he misses a progress deadline, then we can demand that stop and demolition go. Would he be agreeable to that?
Sino también que quieren como un
Línea de
registro de lo que vas a hacer y cuándo lo vas a ir acabando. Por ejemplo, en 30 días vas a acabar piso y a los 60 días vas a acabar las paredes o algo.
Sí, eso está bien. Pueden decirme cuánto tiempo me dan para cada cosa y yo lo tendré. Bueno, yo voy a hacerlo en ese tiempo.
Pero ya dice que si falla uno de esos tiempos,
Entonces ya va.
Sí, te van a detener a esta y van a ir con la demolición.
Sí, está bien.
He's
Si me
saying
dan
he
8
could do
meses,
something like that,
me dan 8
and-
meses que me den los 8 meses y que me digan cuáles son los tiempos y yo los trabajo
No,
con...
no, tú tienes que dar una explicación
Los
sobre lo
tiempos.
que vas a hacer, sí.
Ah, ok. Pero me dan 8 meses.
Explicando lo que vas a
Ok.
hacer.
Está
He
bien.
said he could do that, and he was also agreeing with between the 6 to 8 months, he could actually have the project finished.
Because I think he definitely has, skin in the game, because he sounds like he wants to get the heck out of Houston and move to Navasota.
He
anyway.
really does.
So, I mean, that's encouraging, you do have some skin in the game and investment there, already, some investment.
Dice que está mirando tu interés en salirte de Houston y que está mirando tu interés en invertir en tu casa.
Yo quiero hacerlo.
But this would have to be, like you said, like a timeline that he would need to sign, correct?
Eric would have to verify that the progress that he stated he would have by this date has been completed. And it just continue until it is completely done.
Oh,
But at any time, if he misses the timeline, the ordinance will allow us that it's because he didn't meet his deadline that we can have it stopped and then demolished.
Would there be options though, if he's, 75% done and has got a lot of money put into it and, I don't know, but like you say, you have to draw the line.
You could, so the next step would be to build the timeline into the order adopted by the city council, that there would need to be, the dates as Councilman mentioned. If he's not done by a milestone, then I don't see the discretion in the ordinance to say, okay, well, now we're going to allow additional time, we're going to waive that. One option that Eric and I discussed today is that if demolition is ordered, there is the opportunity for him to dismantle since it's a manufactured home, dismantle the property enough and the building enough and remove it from the property, as long as it's not relocated to a property within the city limits. So perhaps that is what you build into the order as the remedy, that the demolition would actually be, he can accomplish the demolition by dismantling it enough to remove it from the property if he misses one of the milestones that the city council approves in the order. But we're going to have to revise the order for the council's approval, so that you are comfortable with the timelines that are set out in the order. You can tell us verbally and delegate that authority to the mayor if you would like, but we'll need some direction about what milestones, what has to be accomplished by what date, or do you just say the entire thing has to be completed by 6 months, 8 months, whatever the council prefers, and if it's not, then it's got to be demolished. That may be the easiest, but I think the way the ordinance and the state law reads is there has to be a detailed timeline in terms of what progress is going to be made by when, and dates related to those milestones.
Por ejemplo, si le das una fecha que vas a terminar una cosa, que cuando ellos te le van a hacer demolición, que también tienen la opción de sacarla mientras la pongas en otro lugar que no sea dentro de la ciudad de y él es el que va a llevar a cargo todo.
And with not having it in hand, it's not something that we want to take any action on. Because we don't have it. So they would need to provide it to staff. Then we would have at our next council, continue this to another.
I mean, in my opinion, the plan that he submitted is insufficient. It's
Right.
very much lacking.
That's very broad and, yeah, it doesn't.
And so that would be an option for the council to continue it one more time and work with staff to get a schedule that could be it'd be revised to reflect that schedule, and then you'd have something to look at and evaluate, hey, is this appropriate?
And then could Eric maybe go to Robert and say, hey, this is what we got, would this be ready to be presented?
Sure.
Yeah, I was even gonna suggest maybe we give them until next Monday
Yeah,
to have that schedule to Eric, that we can get it to you so that you don't have, you're not getting stuff handed to you at the dais that you're having to try to
right.
read and make a decision on. We'd like to give it to you in advance with the packet. So I would suggest, like the city attorney was saying, give them until next Monday to have that schedule. Make sure that it's a full plan that he's willing to commit to. We'll include it for you all's consideration and have it on the next
Signed and
agenda.
everything.
And then we can
And
make
you
a
can
decision.
decide yes or no. You'll either give him the extension or you won't.
Yeah,
You wanna see it?
it will have to be by next Monday, because the
That's what I
deadline with the new regulation,
Yeah,
yes.
because we'll post on Tuesday.
Okay, Eric, if you'll tell him that we need a detailed timeline of when things are gonna be done, but we have to have it by Monday, a week from today.
No
So it can be
exception.
put, I'm sorry.
No exceptions, because we have to get the agenda out the
Because
very
it
next
has
day.
to be, so it can be put on the agenda and we can make a decision.
Lo que todo escrito como va a ser.
Con detalle qué
cuándo
va a ser,
está
a qué tiempo.
y para cuándo vas a acabar cada cosa.
Son los tiempos que yo ponga, mientras que sea en 8 meses.
Ajá.
Okay.
The timeline can be fairly general, but there's a bottom line deadline that needs to be established. And from what I'm hearing, I don't know, the 6 to 8 month range is what we're gonna be looking for.
He's asking if 8 months is okay for it to be the deadline,
I don't know.
just so I can do it right. That way he's not in a rush.
We can't really.
Yeah, I would suggest he needs to put in the timeline,
Okay.
whatever he needs to get it done. And then it'll be the council's job to say yes or no, they're willing to accept that or not.
Whatever he estimates.
That's right.
within the month,
He
let's say.
needs to put that in there, and then the council will have to make a decision of if that's acceptable or not.
And then, for example, if he writes down everything he's gonna do and, he also asked me if it was, if he's got 30 days to finish the flooring and he's past due a day or two, would there be any penalties or would they just demolish it just for a day or two?
Well, based on the ordinance, it would.
Don't miss the deadline.
It would be up for demolition.
Todo lo que les digas que lo vas a hacer, tienes que acabarlo
Para
para
ese
cuando tú
día.
les digas. Sí, te pasas un día o dos y ellos.
Not to say you couldn't dismantle everything and take
And
it.
take it away, not us demolish it, but do the
Yeah,
demolition.
yeah.
But if he took it and was able to move it
Mhm.
and place it somewhere else to where he wouldn't lose what he has, but he cannot put it within the city limits, it would have to be moved outside the city limits.
No están diciendo que te van a mandar a tumbar, sino que vas a tener que sacarla y ya no la puedes poner en la basura.
Área de la basura. No va a pasar eso.
Yeah, he said he's not gonna happen. So he's gonna go with his deadlines.
Okay.
Lo que le vamos a mandar por email.
Sí, no lo pudimos mandar la línea de todos los detalles. Y así lo
Okay. Anything else, y'all, will just move.
Yeah, just make sure that he understand
Yeah, they just agreed upon the
what he's
details
up against.
and he's gonna email him all the specs he's gonna do. And when, as
Voy
soon
a
as-
venir a presentárselos a ellos.
No, me lo puedo mandar
No,
en
no.
su de.
hey,
Oh, okay.
And Eric, make sure he knows that we have to have it by next Monday or it won't be on the agenda.
yeah, we just told him that. He needs to come by next Monday.
And what you said about the timeline and what's a part of that document, does Eric have that? Does he know?
It's in the ordinance. So,
Okay, okay.
I think it just needs to be detailed and give, here, I'm gonna put in I'm gonna repair the walls by November 20th. I'm gonna replace the flooring by December 2nd, or whatever the timeline is. It needs to be detailed in terms of, so the council can understand when you're going to accomplish what, including the final completion date, but it does need to be detailed in terms of major milestones that are gonna be accomplished in the project.
¿Y cuánto se tarda? ¿Cómo se tarda? 30 días, dice, este día voy a poner esto, este día voy a poner el piso, este día voy a poner esto.
Ya hasta el día que vas a
Yo voy a
terminar
empezar
por
por fuera
completo.
primero y ya después adentro. Lo primero fuera y luego adentro, por decir, voy a decir, termino todo el exterior con todo y techo en 3 meses, vamos a decir.
Sí.
Y en 3
Ya
meses
se
les voy a
ponen
entregar.
en detalle.
Ajá. Y así
Pero
les voy a
sí,
entregar.
solo tienes que ir nomás que
Sí,
And
sí,
and hopefully hopefully you're a very good friend, so you'll translate everything accurately to.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn as best as possible. He said he understands a little bit too, so.
Mayor and council, I think if you're ready to take action, it would be similar to last time, to move to continue the hearing in this matter until.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to continue the hearing.
I move that.
Hearing and the vote.
That we continue the hearing for, schedule it on, to close on our next city council meeting.
Second, 22nd.
Motion and a second to continue the hearing and vote till, what date would that be?
The 27th,
October 22nd,
27th.
7th, excuse me,
I heard 22nd too,
sorry, 27th. And, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries.
We need to close the public hearing.
No, they're gonna continue it next month. Or next meeting, sorry. Hopefully not next month.
Item number 6, consideration of possible action on approval of a Texas Department of Transportation Selective Traffic Enforcement Program, or STEP grant, for the Navasota Police Department. Chief?
Mayor of City Council, Mike Mize, Chief of Police. Here first to present a grant opportunity from the Texas Department of Transportation, TxDOT. As you know, TxDOT is a custodian of crash records for the state of Texas. Under the Transportation Code, any crash that's documented with full crash report is submitted by law enforcement, and that's uploaded in a program called a Crash Record Information System, CRIS. With all that information, data is compiled for heat maps, which on that pass out, you can see the maps. Darker red and all that is more crashes and larger scale injury type ones. So TxDOT looked through all their maps and stuff, and they created a grant program. It's been going on for quite a while, called STEP, Selective Traffic Enforcement Program. I know the last time Navasota PD was part of this program was well over 15 years ago, maybe. So we were approached last year about this time and asked to join the program again after they looked at our heat maps and saw it was starting to increase. This process is not an easy one. We have started November last year, and this is the step that we're at right now. So it's 11 months into this grant program. Just to get final approval, we still have probably another month to go. So this is the next step on it. So basically the grant, STEP provides overtime funds for officers to work selective zones. What they did was, after this last 11 months, was see how large our agency was, the population, how many crashes and so forth. They determine the amount of overtime hours that they will pay for in this grant. It's an 80-20 grant. So they calculated the program for Navasota Police Department would be approved for $11,421.42. Their portion would be $9,062.45, leaving on the 20% of the city, $2,358.97. Basically, again, like it's off duty time. So the officers that are doing their normal shift, taking calls, patrolling and so forth, are not under this program. They want them off duty. They want the officers to focus their normal time, daily activities. Once they clock off their normal shift or come in on their day off, they would check on to the STEP program, and then we would get reimbursed that way through TxDOT. It's pretty, there's a lot of stipulations with this grant zones, so you can look on the maps. They pick and choose a lot of this stuff for us to enforce. So we had to set up a zone. The zone doesn't cover the entire city. They're only looking at the high density traffic crash areas, the high injury ones. And so we picked the zones and then they approve it. I mean, we got rejected several times trying to pick larger zones because we're a small city. And most of the zones on this one that they selected, I know it's in the packet, it's pretty much Highway 6 is major, Washington, LaSalle, Blacksher and LaSalle, those areas are high in crashes. They also have strict enforcement of stuff, speeding, distracted driving, DWI, safety belts, obviously, you know, all the programs, click it or ticket, don't travel in the left lane, pass only, so forth like that. Did a little research just to show like why this is needed. In our system, we report every crash, minor crash and all that. Chris, the TxDOT system, is only reporting the injury ones or the major crashes where basically like the tow truck was called for. So in Navasota, just 2023, we had 183 reportable crashes. And in 2024, 201. But if you look at our normal crashes, like this year, January 1 till, I did it till October 9th when I submitted this, we had 266 vehicle crashes that we responded to. And that was at around day 282 of the year. That's almost one a day, if you calculate that way. In the county, I asked DPS to help me out on this one, and they had in just this year so far, same dates, 455 reportable ones, 26 majors with 12 fatalities. The year prior, 650 crashes, 34 majors and 15 fatalities. Basically, the entire program is to have the officers enforce the speed, enforce distract driving, all that, and to reduce the major crashes and fatalities in the city and area. As people, we know we have Highway 6 north and south, Highway 105 east, west, and 90, and its traffic is just growing nonstop. And so the crashes, as you can see from the paperwork, it's increasing annually 12 to 18%. So this type of enforcement, officers would go out there again on their time off and to basically prevent and slow down these major crashes and fatalities in the area.
This would just only be for off-duty police officers.
Correct. It's an off-duty program, so the good thing is like our time clock as well as the e-ticket riders, basically the officers check on with dispatch their radio call 1041. So they go 1042 normal duty, they go 1041 step. They log in their ticket rider step. So every warning, citation, so forth is classified as step. So I can run a search. Wouldn't have to submit it to finance for the reimbursement. If we do it quarterly or monthly, I need all step hours, step citations, step warnings, and so forth. So when it goes up there, it shows overtime, and in the notes, they write step. So we're able to pull, or we'll probably have a code. We'll do a code like we've done before for NISD off-duty. When the officers work there off-duty, they had a special code. So we can pull that every pay period, and then we send it up there for reimbursement.
Kind of like a stipend, I guess, but and I guess the officers you've talked to them and they're willing or.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's some overtime money that helps them, so. Yeah. So if they do have like, holidays coming up, we can assign, because we have a specific amount of hours based on that number, and it's roughly 200 hours. And this is for the entire year. It's a year-long program. They do have campaigns, the click it or ticket, and they have certain other campaigns, but we went for the annual one so we can put more hours, say holiday, Thanksgiving time, Christmas time, New Year's for DWIs and so forth, so we can, as the officers, and we've done this in the past, we've always set up sometimes, hey, we need officers to work certain areas for this out of our normal overtime budget. Now, TxDOT is actually paying for this 80% of it, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like the 80% part of it, sure. I like the 20%.
But they're required, they have to do certain stops. There's a lot more to this thing. We have to advertise it on our marketing. We talked about National Night Out, present that. We have quarterly reports to submit. They keep track of our heat maps and so forth. So our numbers, I don't want to really have gone down the major crashes and the fatalities as our traffic unit has been established. But the number of crashes as the number of cars are increasing are always going to increase some. So more enforcement out there, the visibility of the officers, they're able to work and we're not pulling away from the calls and the business checks and the area checks and the calls for service. So they're primarily assigned there and they don't have to worry about that. Can they come in and help with some of this major? Yes. And basically they just press the button, they're off step, they're backing up the officers for something major, felony in progress type thing, then they go right back into it. We're able to keep track pretty good with technology now.
And our portion is already budgeted. It was included in the budget.
Would come from the overtime side that we have budgeted for. We've budgeted for these traffic directives in the past several times, so we always try to do that type of things mainly for holidays. So now basically we're the ability to do more than what we normally would do in an annual side.
Have we already been approved for it, or do we have to go through an application process? Or?
That's what we started last November, they actually came down here, met with us, and so the next meeting, if this passes tonight, she set it up, which I'm not gonna be able to attend, 'cause it's on the 22nd, so I'm sending Sergeant Drake. Us and College Station PD are selected to do in person. I mean, it's a major application process, so it's an in-person thing next on the 22nd, once this is the probably third to last step out of probably 20 steps.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the Texas Department of Transportation Selected Traffic Enforcement Program Grant for the Navasota Police Department.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fultz, second by Mr. Gessner to approve the TxDOT Selective Traffic Enforcement Program or STEP grant for Navasota Police Department. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. Item 7, consideration of possible action on ordinance 1076-25, amending Chapter 2, Animal Control Code of Ordinances, City of Navasota, Texas, providing for the regulation of animals within the city limits.
All right, Mayor, City Council, again, Mike Mize, Chief of Police. So here back, August 26th, we had the workshop for this trap neuter release program. One question was asked that I had to double check into was, are we allowed by our ordinance to release animals? And our ordinance says, no, we're not allowed to. So myself and city attorney got together. We looked at several other cities that work with these programs. Actually, the programs that the trap neuter release program has basically a go by ordinance. Our thoughts were, we created this ordinance you'll have to add it in as basically a subsection on there. So if anytime we don't like program, we just pull that out. That way we're not changing stuff throughout the chapter and we got to go back and do a whole bunch of extra work. So we added this subsection to it due to the definitions of what it is. Also, some people feed the community cats that confessed to it last in the workshop. So that's in there and it checks on that. But that's basically what we did. We put the program in there once that's in because the question was asked and we would have been in violation. So it does allow on the very end, hey, releasing that. Anything else in the ordinance, this one will override that. But say in the future we don't like this program, now we just remove this subsection out and we're back to the current ordinance.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 1076-25.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Holt, second by Mr. Fultz to approve ordinance 1076-25, amending Chapter 2, Animal Control Code of Ordinances, City of Navasota, Texas, providing for regulation of animals within the city limits. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, item carries. Item 8, consideration of possible action to resolution 807-25, acceptance of the donation of a grapple police bumper system to the Navasota Police Department.
Our Mayor, City Council, Mike Mize, Chief Police. You think that this would be a real quick one, just because we're getting a donation or something, but I really want to go into this one a little bit more and kind of sell it and show y'all because possible future purchases and all that. But as y'all know, police pursue tapping, and they are very, very dangerous. Not only for the officers, but the citizens, you know, the fleeing suspect. They have no care about anybody. They're just trying to get away. They don't care about citizens, all that. So the officers are making a split-second decision on should the pursuit, does it justify the risk of the public safety, the crime, the road condition, amount of traffic, time of day, and a bunch of other factors. we have a lot of pursuits, as we talked about, all the highways that come through town. So not only do we have pursuits, but several agencies have pursuits that go through the city on the highway and through here. We started purchasing spike strips about 5 years ago for the officers and increased that. In 1 year, I know we deployed the spike strips at least 23 times to assist other agencies stopping the pursuits. I came up with we do a log on all the pursuits, and this year it's like 16 total. That's our agency and other agencies included, anything that we've been involved in. There's a lot of other options that you see on social media that agencies are using. They're pretty dangerous ones. And so about 8 months ago, we found the system, the Grappler bumper system. I just happened to see it on a video, and we've been kind of in communication. It's a little expensive on our end, so it wasn't in the budget. So we've just been talking back and forth with the owners out there in Arizona, and we actually talked to the owner directly in the past 2 weeks. There was nobody in Texas who has this system at that point. And then as we're getting closer, and I was approached by Frank's Towing and Repair, John Vacani, the owner. He sees major crashes, the aftermath of them. He has a scanner, he hears them, and he has witnessed them go by his shop and the speeds at that. And so he wanted to do something where he can shut these down and ask. And I said, well, I'm looking into the Grappler bumper system, but it's pretty costly. So he was like, I want to buy it. I want to donate it to y'all. We talked about that, and then our outfitter heard that we were looking at that, and he's willing to donate the install and the time to go through their class to install it properly and do that. So the whole package deal would be a donation. Since we started this research, we spoke with Department of Public Safety, and they are also looking into the Grappler system, which they were doing a lot of tests. They have a large track to test that out. And then this week, if you watch KHOU News Channel, Harris County has received the first Grappler bumpers in Texas, and they actually have them. And then the governor's office has researched this, obviously probably from DPS, and they just awarded them with a $150,000 grant to purchase more. So now it looks like it's been researched plenty by the state, because the state's actually providing money to another agency to purchase this. There's another agency in Texas that's already placed the order. Actually, the owner said there's many of them that are placing the order, but actually being shipped out in the Dallas area. He says it's growing and very popular. It's from the West Coast, so it's coming our way. So basically, the Grappler bumper system, I got a video in a minute, but I know I gave you all photos of it. It's attached to the frame of a patrol car, the OEM factory bolt patterns. It can only be used on the larger vehicles, say the truck or a Tahoe, because of the weight. It has an arm system, so it's a complete bumper. Arms are up. As the officer is in a pursuit, they call in for the Grappler unit, because not every agency will have that, and we would only have one. They would come into the pursuit, and they would activate the Grappler. A little screen comes up so they can see. Basically, the Grappler has two arms in the front of the patrol unit. They drop down and extends out. It has a heavy-duty nylon-type net, and the patrol officer lines up on one of the rear tires. Once it just touches the tire is rotating pretty fast. The tire grabs the net. The officer then backs up, and the tether, which is basically a large bungee cord type system, is attached to the patrol car, attached to the net. They start backing off, and they're going to slow the vehicle down. The back tire that they wrapped around is already basically in lock mode, because it locked up the tire, so it's starting to slow down. So we're working on, if approved and we get this, then obviously we have policies to go through. We already read the policies through Grappler. He sent me some stuff. They did all their testing. 105 miles an hour would be the max that you would do this on. If the suspect vehicle is starts appearing to start swerving and all that and prevent injury, you can press the button, release the tether from the patrol car, and it allows it to straighten back up. Same thing as if the patrol car is getting drug around a little bit. Just release the button and the tether goes away. The nets, they're a one-time use because the car is traveling, and it's going to create friction with the concrete or asphalt and so forth. So once the net is completely used, then you send that back. The replacement net is $399, $400. You send them the used net, $75 credit, so $325. This donation comes with training for the officer. We've already been invited to several other agencies to get cheaper or free training with it, but our first one is already covered. They said I looked in that frequently asked questions on it. It had 100+ uses on one system before you need to do any repairs to the actual bumper. The springs and arms on it, they can become damaged, but usually get about 10 uses, and all you got to do is get the shock and so forth for that. Policy is going to be assisted by sent over to us to work with on that. Mentioned the maintain control. You can release the tether. It has a 2-year warranty. If the officer misses or needs to do that, they can stop, pull over, or if the vehicle stops prior to it being deployed, it takes 5 minutes. They place it back on their bumper. They have training nets, $200 if we want to train in it, and its capture rate is a lot less if used in the ice or snow. Probably not going to happen here. We do have the Tahoes and we do have trucks, so both of those will work. Obviously, it won't work on the Ford SUVs as much or any type of car. Basically, I'll show you a video real quick before I get in the next little part. Go ahead, Lupe. This is the system in training mode, so you can see how it operates. Not having him in here. To be on marked units, not on any unmarked. So the biggest thing, basically, it's a way safer. Nothing's ever, like I was talking about, less lethal stuff. Nothing will ever create all 100% safety, but this is the most safest method right now to end pursuits.
Probably less damage to
less damage to our vehicles and citizens' vehicles and shut them down a lot faster. So that's why we really started researching. Spike strips are good. We do have the spike strips that slowly release air versus the spike strips that immediately release air and then cause the suspect's car to crash and stuff. But now they swerve around. They swerve towards the officers when they're throwing out spike strips. And then when it's in heavy traffic, we also spike other people's cars because we're not pulling them out fast enough. But this tool right here will be very beneficial.
We have a donor.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we, the approval of resolution number 807-25 to accept the donation of the Grapple Police Bumper System for the Navasota Police Department.
Motion by Mr. Holt, second by Mr. Fultz, to approve resolution 807-25 for acceptance of the donation of a gravel bumper system to Navasota Police Department by Frank's Towing and Repair, and John Picante. Any further discussion?
Does this just come with one net?
No, our invoice on that one, it's going to be basically the bumper, the training for one officer, and 2 nets on this first order. So only time we can keep pulling the net out once it gets used, and we have a second backup net, but then we would trade the used net in and it would be $325 for a new net.
Good. And how would your officers determine that a vehicle may be too large to use this net?
That would go through the training side. They would do that. But when they had an F-250 4-door pulling a dump trailer and they hooked up to it with the Tahoe, he slowed it down on that part. So I don't think really, because at that point, so if it's a little too heavy and starts dragging, you press the button, the tether comes out, and the net remains locked up on the tire to slow it down.
Okay.
18-wheeler, yeah, we're not going to net that. Dump truck and all that, no. But I was pretty shocked when a 3/4 ton truck with a trailer, they netted the trailer and it slows the entire vehicle down, which then it slows it down, easier to spike and a lot safer for that end. And it slows it down where they're not driving the 110, 120 through the crowds. We're probably down to 50, 60 miles an hour at that point, where the other officers can actually catch up, jump ahead, and deploy what they need to deploy. Spike strips.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries.
There you go.
Item 9, consideration of possible action on resolution 808-25, nominations to the Board of Directors of the Grimes Central Appraisal District.
Mayor and City Council, before you is the resolution to nominate members to the Grimes Central Appraisal District to be on the Board of Directors. I will say this was an item added at the last minute when we first got the letter from the appraisal district. It was already past the deadline, so I called the chief appraiser and I told him we would not be submitting a nomination because we didn't get it in time. He told me to go ahead and submit it. He was going to check with his attorney. Come to find out, their information in their letter was wrong with the date. And so they sent us another letter stating that we have until the 15th to get the nomination in. So it is a last minute item. And I know there was some other, like the school district and Iola School District called me and they actually had to call a special meeting in order to meet their deadline. And so I expressed our concern to try to get it to us a lot earlier next year, but it was oversight on their part. But with that being said, in the past, y'all have nominated Jenny Fultz Jarvis to be on the board. And then I got a call this afternoon from Councilman Harris that he would like to also add Chuck Brady's name to it. It doesn't matter how many names we submit. What comes, I think it's going to come up in December where you actually get to cast the votes. So you can nominate as many people as you want on this resolution, but then in December, when we have the official resolution, then that's when you'll have to determine who gets what votes. So in the packet, it just says Jenny Fultz Jarvis, but I know Mr. Harris would also like to add Chuck Brady's name to that list, or anybody else that y'all may have.
Charles Brady.
Charles Brady, I'm sorry. Charles Brady, not Chuck Brady.
Chuck.
Yeah, Charles Chuck Fraser.
Okay, I've always known him by
But,
Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We all
and,
call
and,
him Chuck.
and,
just
and
like Jenny.
and Chuck and Jenny are willing to,
I reached out to
Sure.
Jenny, but she's on vacation. So, like I said, we just got it like Thursday or Friday, and it was already past the deadline, and so,
She is willing.
is she, okay,
And Chuck is willing also.
okay.
They are the only two, that is residents of Navasota. Rest of us, of the county.
I will say, when I did talk to the chief appraiser, the Iowa School District was thinking about asking us to put one of their nominees just to get them on the ballot. And that would have been legal, but they just decided to call a special meeting. So you can, like I said, put whoever you want on there.
but currently, Chuck and Jenny are currently on them.
Right, but they want to serve another 2-year term that would start in January of 2026 and go through December 2027.
Okay, so we could nominate both of them.
Correct. And then we'll put it on ballot, and that's when everybody gets to vote and cast their ballots in December.
I'll entertain a motion to nominate those two.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we nominate Jennifer Fultz Jarvis and Charles Brady for the Grimes County Appraisal District Board of Directors.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Holt, second by Mr. Harris to nominate Jennifer Fultz Jarvis and Charles Brady to the Board of Directors of the Grimes Central Appraisal District, this being Resolution 808-25, as, I guess, revise the resolution to show Mr. Brady on there, okay.
I actually have it in the packet in case y'all did approve it. I did revise it before I brought it down here.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries.
Thank you.
Item 10, consideration of possible action on the approval of the selection of JMS Services as the annual lawn care contractor to maintain landscaping duties for all parks, facilities, and designated areas for the city of Navasota for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2026, with an option to extend for the next 4 years concurrently.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Jay Chappell, Maintenance Services Director. It's my first time doing this, so be patient. Gentle, please. We went out for bid for the annual lawn care services for the public grounds we put out our bid for services on August 22nd. We received 3 bid packages on September 15th. Based on the bids that we received, JMS Services, a gentleman by the name of John Sterling, who's with me today, he provided the best value in our opinion as far as these services are concerned. He came in at the lowest price, but also had he is a local small business that is looking to grow his business and with the city, and he takes a lot of care in what he does, and he's very proud of his work. And I look forward to the potential of working with him moving forward with lawn care services. You should have the bid packages there in front of you with all the detailed numbers for the 3 bids that we did receive. There is a copy of the contract that Carrie helped us finalize and get everything set up there as well. And if you have any questions, John is here to help manage any of those questions or expectations you guys might have.
Jay, I do have a question.
Yes,
for you, maybe Mr. Heminger can answer this question. The option to extend for the next 4 years, I know that language was in our prior lawn care service that we contracted with. So that they chose not to do it anymore?
They were one of the bids that did come in.
So we bid this out every year, or since it's
So it's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Robert, we added new territory. We removed Horlock House from the list, and we added Miller Park and one other location to the contract. So that is part of the reason why we went out for bid on the new lawn care contract.
Yeah, I think the staff's thought was just to make sure we got everything included under one contract. It's not exactly apples to apples, but oftentimes when you have a large project and you ask for something to be changed after the fact and you do a change order, you don't get as good a price as if you'd have included that at the very beginning. And so we just felt like, let's include all the property that we want maintained under one contract, get it bid, and make sure that we're getting the best price that we can for both. And honestly, the bids were close between the lowest price and the one who was our current, but the staff felt like, they had a conversation. They feel like we've put the appropriate, safeguards in place in the contract, in the proposed contract, to let this new local small business, get an opportunity to earn business and to grow as a resident here and a business that will grow and serve our community and other areas potentially. And so we felt like we didn't have a reason to bypass the lowest cost option to move to a second, more costly option to keep the same contractor.
Okay, to make sure I understand you, right. If we add or take away from the contract, we go out to bids.
There may not have been an obligation. I don't know that we looked at it closely, but that would be, typically, that's how you're going to get your best price, to make sure that you're getting competitive pricing on all of that. Because if you think about it, if we'd added areas that weren't in the original contract, and I don't know that we could have gone to the city attorney and asked him, can we change this up? And we very well might have been, because it wasn't been allowed to, because it wasn't a lot, but there would have been no verification that we were still getting the best price on that new area, because there was no competition for it. And I'm not saying that contractor would have done anything improper, but we would have had no way of knowing until we go through the competitive bid process.
Well, I do, with the Harlock House and in the Miller Park, there's, big difference.
Mhm.
And the cost of rebidding it is cheaper than it was last year. Last year was $320, this year is $318. So,
right.
That's a savings itself there. And plus it's local and everything. I'm always a preacher of
Trying to
shop
do.
local.
Yes, sir.
And only thing that I asked, and I hope council backs me up on this, in the previous, well, not previous, because they still the contractors right now, is that in the parks, when they use Roundup, just looks bad to see dead grass around the merry-go-rounds or
We've
around
got
the
that
swing
addressed,
set or
right?
something.
It did.
That's
I'll
addressed.
actually-
It's addressed in the contract.
I would love for John to speak to that if you
Okay.
guys don't mind.
Well, John Sterling, JMS Services. So in our meetings, they spoke very, very strictly of how they want Roundup applied. We are allowed to spray it on a 6-inch space around all the chain link fences, around the wastewater plant, the vehicle plant, and there's one other facility that they allow. Anything else and everything else will be weed eated or edged. No Roundup, no herbicide will be applied anywhere like that.
All the parks and the
All the
cemetery
parks
would
will be
weed-eated.
edged and weed eated. No Roundup will be sprayed
Right.
there at all. They were very, very adamant about how they want it done. This is you can see what we've got. We don't want it. This is how we want it.
But staff ahead of some of that.
Roundup's kind of a shortcut, so.
Yes, and it in some places it has its spot, but when you're driving up to a park that's pristine and has new, and you see areas like this of dirt, that was unacceptable by them. You guys should be very proud of them, because they were very, very strict and adamant at what they want, and I mean they're on top of it.
You have experience with irrigation too?
Yes, and we are in the process of being certified with irrigation, but our plan is not to hit any of them.
Well, I'm talking about it like in the planter boxes and the stuff, that has, we've got all these
Yes,
systems.
we've had conversations
with
of how.
water going all over the place.
I've noticed that the previous lawn care service over at the Cedar Creek, You know, it's quite a bit of weed eating there. No
Yeah,
riding
that-
lawnmowers, you can get off in that now.
There's no lawnmowers, that's all weed eating, sir. That's, it's 4 or 5 guys standing on an incline, throwing a weed eater. But, I mean, that's, we're not scared of it, we're ready to go.
I just hope you just, if we do decide to go with you, that you keep it nice and neat.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
And, I think I did see that everyone you have working will have the uniforms on, shirts on, and
Yes,
the
sir.
trucks are gonna be marked and everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trucks are already marked and, they asked us that, that would need to be done, and we thought as a company, that would be great for us just to, I mean, really need it anyway, so we've already gone ahead and done that, and we are uniformed as we speak anyway, so.
One other question I would like to ask the staff here is that, is it all the property that the city owns, or some property is gonna be left out? Because I've noticed some bills that have been paid that we contract with other people of cutting the right of way, just say on Fairview Drive or by the airport or something that I've
Looking
noticed
to
in the
them, I'm
past.
not sure yet.
Yeah, so what's in exhibit, I believe it was exhibit A, gives you a list of every single property, as well as all the utility properties, the cemetery, the airport. If you're talking about Fairway Drive, I believe that is actually listed on airport property, Fairway Drive, east ditch line. There's 5 acres there. That's actually listed as a part of the airport property, if that's the location you're talking about.
So the city owns that.
Yes, well, I mean, it's on a list of. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, it said Fairview, so I guess it's in front, it's gonna be 105 then.
Fairway Drive, where they mow the contract.
The hangar's in a 30-foot distance from the runway.
Is there a reason why we use contractors to do some of the cutting?
Rodrigo's our employee.
Yeah, he does the brush cutting, so he's,
Oh, that's one of our employees.
That's our employee, yes,
Yes.
sir.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
he's part of the street
Sorry.
department.
I'm not aware of any other contractors that are mowing our property for us. It
No.
doesn't sound like staff is, so if you see something, bring it to my attention and I'll make sure we get it addressed, because I think it's our understanding that
some
either our
confusion.
employee or this contractor will be doing all of our mowing.
We've had some confusion, I think, over by the animal shelter. There's been some guys that have mowed some of the grass that we're supposed to be taking care of on accident. And it's been brought to our attention, but it got handled. But usually, if it's a city property, it's handled by our guys.
And they will be taking care of the planter boxes and
Yes.
everything.
Yep, we discussed that at length, handling all the plants. The irrigation is an ongoing, challenge. Yes, that's a good word. However, we have some plans. There's a couple of boxes that were improperly installed that we're going to be cleaning out over the next couple months before we do our next planting, to clear out drainage. Some of the issues that we're running into is there's too much drainage and some of them don't have enough drainage. So they overflow and or drain too much. So we're going to be addressing those problem areas over the next few months. And I believe there's a few planter boxes that we need to replace as well. So we'll be looking into doing that as well.
Dave, the only other thing that I noticed, the company that we used to have apparently did most of their work on Saturdays. And so is it our goal to have the new company work during the week, maybe when the parks aren't used as much, or as opposed to being Saturday, when people were at the park, the guys were showing up to mow?
Yeah, so I think our goal will be the major parks, i.e. August Horse, will be done prior to the weekend. Current state, the contractor that we use, they usually do August Horse on Mondays, and work their way to the cemetery, and then they finish downtown before the end of the week. But there are some parks that they go through and take care of on Saturdays and Sundays. The goal will be to have at least, at minimum, August Horse will be taken care of as early in the week as we possibly can. The only time that August Horse is ever touched prior to or near the weekend is during soccer season. When we had high grass and everything was growing very well, we were cutting it twice a week. We're down to just once a week. We actually haven't cut it in 2 weeks since we haven't really had much growth. But yes, that's kind of our goal. One of the things that John brought up is really kind of dialing in his schedule and making sure that he can accommodate all the needs for what we need, as well as what's going to work best for his guys. So we want to be as transparent as we possibly can, but also make sure that those parks are open to the public.
Great.
With that being said, I move, Mr. Mayor, that we approve the selection of JMS Service, the annual lawn care contractor, to maintain the landscape duties of all parks, facilities, and the designated areas for the city of Navasota for the fiscal year September the 30th, 2026, with the option to extend for the next 4 years concurrently.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Fultz to approve the selection of JMS Services as annual lawn care contractor. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, did he sign, did he?
Mm-mm.
Can- If you can fill out a form from out in the lobby there, yeah, fill out a form and bring it to the city secretary, okay? I guess so. Yeah. You know he was coming.
But it sounds like you just want to say thank you. I think it's okay. They've had a good relationship. He and Jay have still been talking, so I don't think it's bad.
Did do that. Okay, yes, so, Eduardo? Yes, sir.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Eduardo. I am the operation manager of the JC Construction, and we are the all contractor for lawn care. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, for your trust these past 2 years. We came from the bottom to the top, and it was a surprise for us to this bid, right? Because it's supposed to has a, well, we start with a little lack of communication with, both with you and ours. So, but we improved all that communication. We work very good with Jay, and I appreciate your time and your feedback. Jennifer, also, thank you for everything. And just to say congratulations to the new contractor, and congratulations you for choose. And I hope that is your best value that you choose for the price for the service. So I want to say, if And that is a good step for you is to come from move in forward and not backwards, right? And it's give the opportunity to him like the opportunity to gave me this last 2 years. So thank you for everything. If you change or you need help or something, just we were loving to keep working for and to you. Okay?
Thank you.
And excuse me for don't fill out the application. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Item 11, consideration and possible action authorizing the city manager to enter into a lease agreement with Silver Sand Services. It's a mouthful. For holiday decorations downtown at City Hall and at the Navasota Public Library. Mr. Emmons?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. And so first I need to apologize to the staff members that I promised I would wear my Santa Claus hat while I presented this item. But this is exciting times as we get into the holiday spirit and the holiday times of year. And this is an opportunity for us from what has been described to me. Again, I'm very new here. I've heard about, years gone by where the downtown was decorated very nicely and elaborately, and we had a much more festive spirit, it seemed like, is what is being described. And so this is one of the contractors that provided us a bid to come in and kind of expand the decorations to the downtown corridor, City Hall area, down all the way down to the library, trying to get the city properties as well as the lamp posts and the areas in the downtown. And the intent there is to really try to market our community more than just the daytime come down for a sip and shop and the lighting of the tree, but also to try to get some more guests in our hotels and get folks to stay a little later in the evening and frequent the restaurants and have some nightlife and stay in the hotels and stay and see the decorations and talk about that and really truly have more of a home for the holidays and folks that are coming and visiting our home for the holidays. And so the idea here is that we would enter into a lease agreement. It's a 3-year lease with decorations that would include the setup, the care of the items, the takedown, as well as the storage throughout the year. So we don't have to use our staff time for a week of trying to put up the decorations and to take them down. That takes away their time from their regular job. And we don't have to have storage space and try to make sure these things don't get damaged in, non-climate controlled warehouses or wherever we can store them for the 11 months that they're not in use. And so I've seen this done in a couple other communities pretty successfully and feel like it's a good opportunity for us to bring in, get some spirit. And the idea is that we would split the cost between hotel occupancy tax and general fund. We haven't settled exactly on the percentage each. We've even thought about maybe trying to get some sponsorships to alleviate some of it. But I think even if we don't get sponsorships, we've got the funding within the general fund and hotel occupancy tax to make this a really nice Christmas season and really start to really see our community in a different way and hopefully get our hotels some guests and get some more nightlife activity for the community.
Mr. Hemminger, I think that you have already answered my question, but just to make it clear, in order to use the hot fund, we're trying to get people to come to town, eat, stay in hotels and everything.
Absolutely, yeah. The hotel occupancy tax funds by state law, I won't try to regurgitate the actual wording that it uses, but the mantra a lot of times is heads in beds. You use that money to get overnight hotel stays in the hotels. It is a tax that is paid by the hotel occupants. It comes into our community, but then it does have that requirement that we can use it only for things that do venture to get more hotel stays. And so that's kind of, the decorations, obviously the lights are easier to see at night. We get folks staying in the community later in the night. They have dinner, they can enjoy one of the local bars, and then see the Christmas lights and the decorations, and then hopefully stay in a hotel rather than getting on the road and getting that grappler used on their car.
What happens to the stuff that we have, that we currently put out every year?
I don't know that we're getting rid of anything. This would be over and above, right? I'm looking to some of the staff that have been involved in that.
Yeah, so we would actually, purchase those, our people, so that, there's a store.
I was just looking at the greenery that they are proposing to put on the banister, the balcony upstairs. And we did that, I think staff did that last year.
Yeah, I think so.
So if it was taken down, it probably is still good, I would guess. So just curious why why would they do what we already have?
They may not have known what we had, and we can certainly repurpose it and use it in other facilities or other areas, or get more lamp posts covered, or
Yeah.
the idea was not to do away with what we had, it was to augment.
As long as that's still the plan, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll make sure
Yeah.
that's the plan. We'll make sure. We'll communicate with them.
Enhance and improve and do
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And this does not include the tree.
This isn't the tree. The tree is a live tree that has been acquired and will continue to be. This is, just decorations that we will be leasing.
So if I'm understanding you right, you're saying that we will use some of the supplies that we have now?
Yeah, I think our intention is to use all of them.
Most all of them, yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to really expand and just build on what we already
Is
have.
that something that they're gonna put up, or we're still gonna be putting that up?
The stuff that we had, we will do. They're gonna only be responsible for what we lease from them.
But they're establishing a theme with theirs.
Christmas.
And it's not really part of this, the lease, but the event, and hopefully I'm not too far out on a limb for the city attorney to tell me to stop, but we're trying to also include, I think I've had a conversation with a couple of you, a concert that goes along with that evening of the lighting of the Christmas tree, the Home for the Holidays after the parade. The state's been working with some entertainment that might be able to do a concert for us there to just, again, extend the evening, and maybe some of those folks that come for that will stay for the evening and stay in a hotel and just enjoy the community even more.
The great city of Navasota.
Yes, sir. Getting greater by the day.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we authorize the city manager to enter into a lease agreement with Silver Stand Services for holiday decorations downtown at City Hall and the Navasota Public Library.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fultz, second by Mr. Gessner to authorize the city manager to enter into a lease agreement with Silver Sand Services for holiday decorations downtown, City Hall, and library. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries.
One other quick question, please.
Mhm.
This will be up by parade day?
We're actually hoping.
We're hoping that it will be up by Blues Festival, so November 22nd. It depends on their availability and inventory by, when we contact them tomorrow and say that the city manager is able to enter into agreement, it'll just depend on what they say, but hopefully by Blues Fest.
Not necessarily decorated, but it will be ready to show off the Blues Fest.
They have to get some of that overtime. Mike back there, to decorate the tree.
All right, item 12 is a consent agenda, which are the minutes for September, municipal court report for September, and the expenditures for August.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the minutes and municipal court reports for the month of September 2025 and expenditures for the month of August 2025.
Motion by Mr. Gessner, second by Mr. Fultz to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. And with that being the last item on the agenda, we're adjourned.